How's that? There we go. I don't know why I fuck around with these things. Because that's annoying. Anyway, got it figured out now. Hopefully this isn't too loud. We're back. What's going on, everyone? Jordan is Instagramming, so don't mind her.
I forgot to post this. Hang on. Don't judge me.
What flavor Capri Sun? The only good one. Can you see that? Let's see. Strawberry kiwi.
Really the only good one.
It's the goated flavor. How's everybody doing? How's everybody's week gone? I guess it's not really, you know, it's only Tuesday, but I apologize for the wet hair, but
I apologize for the wet hair.
we both just washed our hair because it was time. So I probably should have run a brush through this shit, but I'm realizing now that the chat's not showing. Where's chat?
Come on, chat.
Here we go.
All right.
There
Let's
we go.
see who's in here. Some familiar faces I see.
It is rolling.
Heather, Sparkling Glass Sipper, hello. Coley, hello. Happy birthday, Coley.
Good. Happy birthday, Coley. We didn't forget. Thanks for reminding us, though.
Let's see.
It's been a week and it's only Tuesday. I apologize, Natalie, in the nightmare. Northern Sunset's birthday is tomorrow. We love to see it.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Let's see. Social Spoons, hello.
Social Spoons the goat.
Emma, nice to see you. Leslie, hello.
The smoke alarm. Funny
What a
story.
fiasco.
Funny story about the smoke alarm is that the one that was beeping was not in our son's room, nor was it in the hall. We could not figure out where it was because I went and I replaced the one in the hall. I replaced the battery in the one in my son's room, and I could still hear it beeping. I couldn't figure it out. It was the loudest in here, but I had changed that one again. That's up on the ceiling. So I thought, I don't know, maybe it's still beeping. I'll try a different battery, totally different battery, brand new. And I'm up on the ladder. I pull the stupid battery out. And then right as I pull the battery out, it actually chirps right after I hear the other one. So I was like, son of a bitch. And then I'm like listening close to the walls, couldn't figure it out. Maybe it's in the neighbor's room or something like that. And I could hear it. There's a closet right here. And I was like, is it coming from this closet? So I open the door and I stand there waiting for it to beep. And it comes from a like tub of stuff that we left packed away because we didn't need it. It was a fucking carbon monoxide detector that I had left in there that has a battery in it. And that was, it was a couple days after the stream that I finally figured it out.
Because we had given up
So done.
on it.
I was so done. So it didn't really bother
Nice
us that
little
much.
Plot twist.
I know. Didn't really bother us that much because the door was shut. It always stays shut
Hi, Melissa.
otherwise. Melissa.
I know I usually have a Dr. Pepper at this time, but we did not have time to run. Well,
Yeah.
McKay did not have time to run and get me one. So, thus,
The
here we
Capri
are.
Suns.
Capri Suns.
Yeah, it really sucks when you grow up and you realize that there's no one else to take care of those stupid little problems. You got to do it yourself. So it is what it is.
It's true.
We got it figured out, though. The Modern Family episode with the beeping detector was over in the attic.
I love Modern Family.
It's been a minute since we watched that.
It really has.
I guess it was just last year. It's been longer since we watched The Office.
It's true. Any new stickers coming out on Etsy? No, like, planned ones right now. We've sort of neglected that area. But after yesterday's video, everybody wants us to make Eat Jesus merch now.
I know. Maybe
So we're going to have to work on that.
Like kind of Snickers themed.
Yeah. That would be good.
That would be cool. I really want to do a t-shirt of the tokens of the priesthoods.
Oh, yeah.
And call it like Mormon Happy Hands Club or something like that, because that would be really cool. Capri Sun flavor is strawberry kiwi.
The only acceptable.
The only good one. If you haven't seen the video by drag queen Trixie Mattel on her channel where she reacts to Girl to Find and how to wear makeup in a god honor.
Comedy gold.
Comedy gold.
I'm watching it on my TV and responding via my phone. Hashtag dedication. It's weird to us when people are like, we put you on our TV. It just feels so bizarre.
I know. Until we got this camera, I wouldn't even put us on our TV. Just to see how it was.
Cut off my transphobic parents. Now I'm binging ice cream and hoping you'll distract me from my feelings. Oh my gosh, that's so much.
R.I.P. Hope you are doing okay.
Rip your feelings, man. That freaking sucks. But hey, I will be the first to say setting boundaries, cutting off family members. Sometimes it needs to happen. It fucking sucks, but sometimes it needs to happen.
If anybody has anybody that they're like willing to plug for the Mormon Happy Hands shirt. Sorry, I'm looking something up. I'm kind of looking for like the traditional style hand of tattoo, I guess. I don't even know what to say.
It's trad.
This is mostly what I'm looking for, kind of this style to do the stuff. This is kind of more like neo-trad, but what am I don't know, kind of like these styles. So if anybody knows an artist that can do like this style stuff on Instagram or something, send them to Jordan on Instagram. That would be amazing. And helpful.
Lost my dog yesterday. I'm sorry, Daniel.
No.
That's terrible. Melissa says it's date night and we have you on the TV.
Melissa, that's
unacceptable.
That's unacceptable. There's better stuff for date night. Howdy, Nick, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, howdy, Nick. Okay.
If he's listening.
We have a lot to talk about today, but I wanted to chat with you guys for a second.
Do I need to reset the audio again? Sorry. Let's put this back into... I reset something and apparently it decided to... Apparently it decided to change a bunch of settings.
Is that okay?
Hopefully that is better.
We are going to talk about the Buzzfeed article.
What should we talk about first?
I want to talk about Trisha first.
I want to talk about Trisha. I just pulled up this tweet. Where was that one on the Fundy Snark or the Trishy Land sub?
It was on her Instagram. You should be able to just pull it up on her Instagram. While McKay does that, should be finishing my research paper. I feel that. I should be writing a paper, but I'm here.
What? Which one was it? Oh,
the Mormon Church works hard, but we work harder. Yeah.
I have to sign in.
Just use that login right there. That should work.
No, I don't want it to show your username.
Oh. Just use the other one, though.
Is this one going to work? Is it going to ask you to confirm?
Probably.
Technology so secure.
This was me.
Save info. Okay.
Started grad school this week. Congrats.
Which one is it?
Keep going. Keep going. That one.
This one. Okay. All right.
So we got a few things we're going to talk about today. Off the top, we will talk about Trisha. We're also going to talk about, thank you to 76 of you who've hit the like button already. You guys are on top of things.
Hell yeah, we love it.
We're going to talk about Jen Shah from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We're going to talk about Bethany and Girl Defined because there's been some happenings there. And then we're also going to talk about everyone's favorite. We're going to talk about everyone's favorite 8 passengers, Ruby, Franke, and her bestie Jody, and the lovely cult that they've created together. So
love it.
That is
Love
our
it.
plans for now. There's also some drama with the Mormon swingers that we did a video about a little while ago. So if we have time, we can touch on that too.
Drama, extra drama.
Yes. Full moon tonight. Practice extra self-care. Pro tip, everyone. Thank you, Anna. So let's start with Trisha. I would say Trisha is a controversial topic, no matter what context you're talking about her in. But as of recently, I mean, Trisha's always been a controversial character.
As far as I know, at least in the last
I've watched
recent
her for
memory that I have.
I've seen her stuff. I have watched a few of her YouTube videos back before like the recent frenemies and all of those things. But she's always been like a controversial person. Like her personality is to stir up drama, and she's not the only one who does that by any means. But she kind of is in the class of celebrity where exploiting other people and causing drama via the exploitation is the way they stay relevant. Does that make sense?
Total sense.
So, throw back to her Mitt Romney videos. Oh, God. So
I don't think I want to know. Oh, Trisha uses they, them.
She said they, them for a while. Now she corrected. They are on her Twitter profile as she, her, they, them. So, she or they is fine.
Oh. Profile is...
Oh, it's because her OnlyFans is on there.
Oh,
So,
I was like, is the profile quarantined? Hold on. Is it up here?
what?
She, her, they, them. There it is. There you guys go.
She said both. It was they at some point, and then she elaborated and said good God. So we mean no disrespect. We respect pronouns.
Yep.
So essentially, Trisha made this post back in 2020, which I was not aware of, which I think is freaking hilarious. Possibly converting to Mormonism, reading a lot about it right now. And it brings me such immense joy to think about Trisha converting to Mormonism.
It would be wild, not gonna lie.
It brings me such joy.
I know.
Like,
and to have like such a controversial figure converting, I don't know how that would be handled by the higher ups. Like, surely there would be some publicity and stuff like that, and I don't know. But there's all yeah.
She would have to have like a redemption arc. She would have to have like a coming to Jesus figuratively, where she like completely revamps her life to abide by Mormon standards, and she forsakes everything that she's currently doing. And we have no hate towards sex workers or people who work in that industry whatsoever, but OnlyFans and Mormonism, not compatible,
well,
my friend.
I think there was a what is that a Vice article about some, I'm going to say Mormon person, because you can't really confirm or deny anything about that. That had an OnlyFans and did that and things like that.
Someone said Scientology might take her. Scientology takes just about anyone.
Oh, so they have the whole celebrity center too. So
they do.
Well, anybody who's in the public eye, really, they can do that. She dabbled in witchcraft recently and pissed off a bunch of the TikTok witches. Yeah, I can totally understand that.
Here's the thing about Trisha is there's not many groups that she hasn't offended. Like, you'd be hard pressed to find a group of people that she hasn't, rubbed the wrong way in some way or another, especially the last little while, religiously speaking, because, a year or so, a little bit over a year ago, maybe approaching 2, she was going to convert to Judaism for a while there. And it is very cloudy. It seems very hop on the train because it's cool and because I want to, and then it actually takes like work to convert. And so then it's like, not so much interested in that anymore. I'm not sure Scientology would even take her. Tithe the earnings from OnlyFans. # yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, she claim. Does she still claim to be Jewish? I don't
know, honestly.
I don't know. There was, when she was on Frenemies, well, her now husband is, and so there was the whole I'm going to convert to Judaism arc, and I don't know where she ended up with that, but I'm like 99% sure she did not convert.
I know. Well, it sounds like converting to Mormonism would be a lot more simple
than converting to Judaism. Yeah, I've heard that that's like an extensive process.
Yeah, because, I don't know, because there are things that you're supposed to give up. Now she's married to the person that she lives with, so there's a big roadblock that'd be
that's
easily,
true.
It's out of the way now. But then there's like the coffee thing, and I don't know if she drinks alcohol or
she does.
I thought she stopped for a while, but she always loved that coffee. It takes like a full year to convert to Judaism. That's what I mean, I've never looked into it. So
she claims she paid a rabbi to convert to Judaism for Moses, and that's super offensive. That's hella offensive.
Yeah, that sounds pretty offensive.
Yeah. And so I just think all around this is kind of her vibe, and I am not a Trisha fan at all in any sense of the word. At all. Like, she's just done way too many harmful things, has offended way too many people, irredeemable things, in my opinion. So we're not fans at all. But pull up the Instagram post from yesterday.
Let's bring this in.
Okay.
Oh, this doesn't like zoom in at all.
It did a little bit.
I'm trying to zoom in more on the text. But
it did a little.
Do you think it?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. It does zoom in. Hey.
Okay. So first of all, she's wearing a white outfit, which # Mormon right off the bat. Only Mormons wear white. Didn't you know? Reference to Under the Banner of Heaven.
Trigger warning on temple clothes. Sorry
oh, yeah.
That.
Hell yeah.
I totally forgot that she put those in there.
She did. So if you're not familiar, Under the Banner of Heaven is a TV series right now on Hulu that is, it's not real, but it's based on a true story about 2 religious extremist Mormons who went off down the extremism path and then murdered a woman and her baby. So trigger warning, don't watch that show if you're super sensitive, and if you do, self-care, because I can't finish it yet. But so it's not even like really the most like love Mormons kind of show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh my God, you watch that show and you're like, shit, I just want to be Mormon. They've got all the cool things. They have everything together. God, that's just something I want to be a part of.
I know. I don't know how she got that off of watching Under the Banner of Heaven, because it's pretty fucking critical.
That's
of
the
that
more
show.
startling thing, I feel like.
Yeah.
Is that show is extremely critical of Mormons, and it puts it in a very, I mean, a lot of active, like currently active Mormons will not watch the show and have criticized it like very heavily. So the right off the bat, this is just not a thing.
Entering my LDS phase, more like entering my villain phase. Am I right? Haha.
So she is eternally unhinged. Agreed. So let's look at this caption. Entering my LDS phase, JK. We're just watching Under the Banner of Heaven and thinking about how these Mormons were wildin'. Yeah, I would agree, but it's not like a funny kind of wildin'.
Yeah, not like in a
like people
fun game.
Died.
Party sense.
No, I'm all about the Heavenly Father. The Heavenly Father. Not Heavenly Father. The
Heavenly Father.
Because there might be more than one. But damn, they really be taking every little thing as a sign from him. Do people feel like that about Mormonism? I mean,
I guess.
We watched the first 2 or 3 episodes, right? Did we watch 3?
I think we need to, 3.
I did not get that vibe. from like everything's a sign. Well, maybe they pray about everything.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what she's talking about.
I guess. She's just kidding, guys. Don't worry.
She's JK.
She's just JK.
So let's see. Have y'all been watching? I love Andrew Garfield. I had no idea what it was going to be. Like, not a fan of that. Plus, my fave, Donny Osmond is Mormon, so I thought it would be educational. IDK.
I really like their little church hats, though. Do Mormons still wear them today? Because they cute.
Oh, my God.
I think she was really missing the context there.
Oh, my God. Okay, so Donny Osmond. Everybody loves Donny Osmond. We actually have a video about Mormon musicians, and he's one of them. They are very, very Mormon. Donny Osmond still teaches
Sunday school.
He currently teaches Sunday school for the youth currently in his ward. I don't know where he lives. I thought they lived down south.
I don't fucking know. No, I think he lives in
They grew
Los
up
Angeles.
where...
Or do they live in Las Vegas? Doesn't he have a residency there?
Oh, maybe.
I could be wrong.
His family grew up in the northern area that we are now. So Donny Osmond, I thought it would be educational. I mean, Under the Banner is somewhat educational, I guess.
Yeah, I guess depends on who you ask, because a lot of current Mormons are like offended because they didn't consult active Mormons, but like a lot of this is stuff that ex-Mormons know. Like, it's just like an attempt to discredit people on their knowledge and things like that, even though it's not like I grew up in the church and left it and I forgot everything about it. Like I schooled somebody on their scripture knowledge today, so.
And they were very upset about it.
Yeah.
They live
in Provo?
Provo. Okay. I thought they were down south, which is very much south from where we are, but. So the church hats thing, I get that it's kind of like topical. It's like, it's funny, right? Like, it's like, okay, I get that. But at the same time, it's going to offend, by and large, two groups of people. It's going to offend Mormons, because the fact that she would even post this on her Instagram with the temple clothes in it is going to be very offensive. And two, the ex-Mormons, who are very, like, a lot of us are really triggered by the temple experience, and we're,
Talk about tone deaf.
That's actually an ableist phrase.
Really?
Yes. Fun fact.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Right? And so you're going to offend the ex-Mormons that are like, this is like making fun, not the AAVE. I was going to say that.
There
the
you go.
Gone.
I think she does that all the time, though.
Girly.
So it doesn't really surprise me.
They're legitimately the most wild people on the planet. I agree. So it is kind of insensitive, I feel like. It's a little insensitive on a few levels. And I might be overanalyzing this because I'm an ex-Mormon, maybe.
Yeah.
But Mormons, I think, would be equally offended, if not more. Wouldn't you say?
I would think so. I don't know, really, honestly, because she's a controversial figure, but these people are like, fuck it. We need everybody saved. We need everybody in the celestial kingdom. So
that's fair.
It's kind of a double-edged sword.
That's fair. Yes, the outfit is only in the temple.
Yeah.
So.
Did she not kind of question, hey, why did they never wear these hats anywhere else except for the one scene?
I don't have words. So the thought of Trisha being Mormon just very much makes me laugh. All exposure is good exposure for Trisha. And I totally agree. I do worry about her and her current child. Her pregnancy has just seemed to go on forever. But definitely a forever troll, and any group that she can hop on that will at least get her some traction in the moment seems to be, it all goes together. But I agree, Victoria just said I should have probably been offended by Trisha so many times, but if you're offending everyone, it starts to feel like it cancels out. I feel like most people tune Trisha out at this point.
I think so.
I feel like she's
in a lot of cases
done so much that she's basically viewed as irrelevant and people aren't engaging with her, so she's trying to be offensive to get back on people's radar, and then she pops up and people are like, oh my god, please stop, and then she fades back into irrelevance again.
Yeah.
At least that's the vibe.
Is she gonna make a funeral potato?
Yes.
I don't know
Hell
how to
yes.
pronounce that, but
Mukbang.
little ASMR action. I'm not a fan of those kinds of videos. The sound just gets to me.
I didn't realize Trisha was pregnant. Yes. I think she's due in September. So, and bad AAV to boot. So, overall, this is just unhinged LDS lore, basically, at this point.
Is this like...
I don't believe her. I don't believe anything she says.
Yeah, no. And I think maybe she is kind of... I don't know. She always does this where she kind of plays off things that are current. So, I don't know.
I hear the tone deaf thing, but I have been told by multiple disabled people that tone deaf is offensive. So I refrain from using it for that purpose. So that's the reason we brought it up. We know it's an actual also disability as well. Trisha's going to have a great time in Relief Society. Fuck yeah. Can you imagine? She would be bestie. She would love Relief Society because of all the drama. Everybody, it's the class for all the women over 18. And when I was in it, it's just gossip central. Like everybody just bitches at each other and it's so fun. So all in all, not a fan of Trisha. No fishies here. Maybe there's some wifeys in the chat.
Wifeys are welcome.
Wifeys are welcome.
Probably kind of a one-off.
Fishies are not.
It is not the crossover that I was expecting.
No.
The Trisha X Mormonism crossover.
Yeah. So yeah, that was unless she does something whack, I don't think we ever really talk about Trisha unless we navigate into other things and she starts like throwing herself in the news again. But I feel like she hasn't really been relevant since Frenemies, and before then she really wasn't either. But
yeah, she was like a long time YouTuber, but a lot of the people that were around the time when I was starting to watch YouTube really fell the fuck off. So
yeah, she's been around for a long time. I'm pretty sure she said her and Philly D started at the same time, and I think he's been around for a really long time. He's been around
for forever. He was already pretty established by the time that I was on YouTube. So
that's true. That's true.
The missionaries at her door gonna be for a ride.
Trish would love the drama and performative nature of baptizing the dead. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yes. Yes. Trisha Snark sub calls themselves wifeys. We don't stand any fishies.
Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like, because we watched all the episodes of Frenemies, and McKay's watched H3 for a long time, but I feel I was starting to like have a redemptive type of feeling for her after they got over like the first fight.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of, I don't know.
She said a lot of
seemingly
fucking shitty
good
things,
qualities. Yeah, but you know,
it seems to be
also
like
a lot of shit that you got to wade through. And
yeah, it's true. I mean, she did say a lot of shitty things on Frenemies. Don't get me wrong, but I was like, okay, maybe this could work. And then every time she'd get into it with Ethan, I'd be like, oh my god, okay, this is why. This is why. She was on AGT, and I don't believe anything she says, but she said AGT is like very scripted, and even though she got let on the show because she was going to do like her fast talking thing that she does, they told her that she couldn't do that, and she had to make something else like up on the spot, which I don't know anything about those type of TV shows, but if that's the case, that's interesting. But it makes sense because they're all about the,
that 5%.
That 5%. We're all about.
Yeah, it's about the show, so of course there's going to be scripts and things like that. But it does seem kind of weird that they were like, no, you can't do that.
Do something else. I think she rapped on stage, I'm pretty sure is what she did, and it was terrible. But she was like obsessed with Howard Stern, which I think was the only reason she went on the show. Yeah, Frenemies made me trust her, then she screwed it all up. I was pretty weary of Trisha before that anyway, but I was like, okay, maybe I can get on, like I can roll with this, and then it all went to shit. So
on My Strange Addiction too. Dang.
Oh yeah, for tanning. Anna Grace, thank you so much.
Super Chat says, sorry, I can't give much. You guys are amazing, and I admire that you stand up for what you believe in. Keep the great work and an awesome night. Thank you, Anna Grace.
That's so nice. You don't have to give us anything.
$5 is way more than nothing, and your support is already enough. Every one of you, thank you
just
for
being here.
Joining us and everything. We love it.
Yeah, that 5%. Yeah,
McKay
she really
is looking more like Aaron Gillespie. Love it. Rock on, dude. I have not seen Aaron Gillespie in a long time, but thank you.
Yeah, so all in all, that's Trisha.
Oh, tanning addiction.
Yeah, tanning.
Okay.
She was on there with her mom.
Don't tan, people.
Don't tan. It's bad for you.
It's bad.
So that frenemies has someone with toxic
fake.
parents. Frenemies is hard to watch. Yeah, it was definitely triggering for me, at least, because you could just feel her starting to like. It's just kind of weird to watch somebody get to that position, you know, because you just like with Trisha, it's like everything's fine and dandy, and then immediately you know something's wrong. Like immediately something has changed and everything's about to go downhill.
Yeah.
Because that's how every one of the Frenemies episodes was. Like Ethan would say something and you would like immediately see the face change, and then we already knew like what path we were going down. So, and somebody said she's made some like really inappropriate comments about mental illness and things too as well, which is also frustrating. I know she struggles with something, so I hope she is actually like authentically doing something and going to treatment and therapy, because I don't necessarily believe anything she says. Hi, Mark. Okay, what's next on our docket?
Somebody said a quick tattoo tour.
Oh, tattoo tour.
Yeah, we'll just take a little break between this one and the next one while I get it set up. Would you like to give a tattoo tour?
Yeah, I guess. You probably can't see like super well. This is my newest one. It's the hand of Eve taking a bite of the apple in the Garden of Eden with the snake.
Danger noodle.
Danger noodle. This one was a little more painful. And then I have this one, which is going to be like upside down. I don't even know if you can see it that well, but this one is a brain. There's like no good way to show this one.
Just put it out like this.
It's a brain, and it has a bunch of flowers around it.
There you go. It's a little hard to see. Sorry about that.
But yeah, brain for my own mental health issues, and I love brains, and they're cool. And then I have my socks tattoo from Bluey, because she reminds me of my son. And then I have my first tattoo, which is right here.
You should have got a muffin tattoo, because
I should have got a muffin. Our son is very much a muffin if you watch Bluey.
Muffin energy.
This was my first tattoo, and it's terribly done, as a lot of people's first tattoos are. But it was an in-memory bouquet for my friend who died by suicide in high school, my grandpa who died like a long time ago, and then I got my son's initials as well. And then I have this one, which nobody sees very often, but this is Trad Bad Bitch over here.
Trad Bad Bitch.
So
that one, she sat for a really long time and she got sick because of it.
I did. I got, they call it like a tattoo poisoning. And that's the only one that I've had that happen, but this was 5 hours that I sat for. And that was a long fucking time. Oh my God. That was forever.
Yeah. I just have this little hourglass guy. This little hourglass guy, because it's cool, and this wolf, because I like wolves and it's fucking cool. I am scheduled to get a new one. When is that? Oh, September. I'll get it on the back of my arm. I'm doing a traditional, neo-traditional patchwork sleeve all the way down. So I'm hoping to go all the way down to my hand, back of my hand. So that's going to be cool. Anyway, thank you for listening about our tattoos.
I missed all the trash talk already. Tawny, yes, we just
don't
finished
worry,
talking
you can
about
go
her.
back, and
but you'll be able to watch it.
It will be available, so don't worry.
Are you a wifey in here? 8 hours for a tattoo. Oh my Lord. I don't think, after doing this for 5 hours, if I had to do something longer than that, I think I would have to do 2 sessions, because I really don't think I could sit longer than 5 hours.
Yeah, Jordan does a lot of black and gray, and yeah, I love traditional, neo-traditional styles. So.
I have 2 color ones, but my skin and my body does not do well with color.
Heather P. running fucking
15?
wild with the tattoos in just 18 months.
Shit, bro. That's so cool.
Wolves are badass. It's true.
Bluey's amazing, hands down.
All right. Let's get to this next one.
Okay, what's next?
Jen Shah.
Okay. Will you pull up like her Wikipedia page?
Yeah, let's do that.
There were some things on there that I read, but I don't remember what in particular I wanted to talk about. Oh. So I do not watch Real Housewives generally. Like maybe a long, long time ago, but I have not watched anything but like small snippets of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I will admit I was kind of astounded when they decided to do a Real Housewives here. It's got to be just for the Mormon drama.
It must be. I don't know.
I don't know.
There is a lot of... I mean, you were looking at it today. Number 2 in the country for plastic surgeons per capita.
Yeah.
After Miami.
Salt Lake City. Most above Los Angeles. We have more plastic surgeons here than in Los Angeles. The only place above us is Miami. That's freaking crazy. And somebody on Instagram asked me about it and was like, well, doesn't that mean you're like modifying your body as a Mormon? It absolutely does. But Mormons are very much...
they overlook it.
Rules apply to thee and not to me. And so that's definitely the vibe, at least, I feel like. There are very, like, I don't want to say rigid, but there are kind of expected beauty standards, I feel like, within Mormonism. Like, Mormon women are notoriously, like, somebody even sent me a message about that today. They were like, would you go back to Mormonism knowing that Mormon women are the most beautiful women in the world? And I'm like, what? No. Second of all, that's not true. Third, that's kind of a white nationalist type take, a little bit, given that a lot of Mormon women are white. So I was not a fan of that. But I think there are pretty, like, at least as a woman, I felt like there were pretty stringent expectations of you have to look put together, you have to be cute. In Utah particularly, you have to be blonde. If you're not blonde, you're kind of out of the status quo a little bit. Lots of nose jobs, lots of boob jobs. Even in, like, my ward, like my young adult ward when I was in college, there were 2 people in my friend group who had nose jobs, and not for, like, medical reasons.
For appearance reasons.
Yes. So it's definitely a problem.
Yeah. Well, and it's so... There's nothing wrong with you wanting to change something about yourself so you feel more comfortable in your own skin. No. But the whole basis of it in Mormonism is that, like, God created your body and it's supposed to be like this perfect creation, but, like, there's health issues that people have and all kinds of shit, and then, like, you're electing to go and change things about your body that supposedly is God-given and perfect is just kind of ass backwards, if you ask me.
It's just another, and no, they don't have a, like, you know, in the Word of Wisdom and Mormon handbooks, you're not supposed to get tattoos. They don't have anything specifically prohibiting plastic surgery.
Nothing like that.
And let me reiterate, we don't care if anybody gets plastic surgery. Like, you do you. Like, whatever you want to do is cool by us, but it's definitely...
It's funny that there was more talk about getting more piercings in your ear than one
than
there was about boob jobs and nose jobs and other elective surgeries.
It's true.
So, but go out there and do you.
It's just a lot of people come to Utah and they're like, all the women look the same. I'm like, yeah, they do.
Have the same doctor. Just kidding.
Maybe. There's some out here doing some pretty great work, at least.
I remember not too long, I think it was last year, there was a plastic surgeon who took out a billboard on I-15 in Salt Lake, where they were like, let me see if I can pull it up, but it was like really kind of fucking...
I remember this.
Surgeon.
Exactly. If we're made in God's image, I'm surprised the Mormon Church is cool with plastic surgery. Really, it is a good point.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
Oh, yeah.
Let me bring it up on here. This one right here. God's remodeling his temple. Isn't it time to remodel yours? Like, it's topical and like
corny, though.
It's like playing on the idea that, you know, hey, even God makes improvements to his temple. Let's maybe you should do that too, because it's not
maybe
good
you
enough.
need a boob job. The temple's getting renovated so it can have boobs. You need to get it renovated so you can have better boobs too.
Okay. Conversely, we got this one. Plastic surgeries. This
is a play on
Cosmopolitan. Yeah. CosmoHurtsKids.com.
Look up the Cosmo one, because it's like Cosmopolitan magazine is porn or something. Porn. Yeah. I don't know if anybody has these elsewhere, but they definitely have this like in many places along the highway in Utah.
I haven't seen them in a while. I think they went away with the...
Yes, that one.
Cosmopolitan magazine contains porn.
Cosmo Hurts Kids. Yeah, there was at least 2 of these on I-15 in Utah.
Down in downtown.
Yeah, I was like, okay, we're doing a stretch, but all right. Need to get my temple touched up. God-honoring plastic surgery.
God-honoring plastic surgery.
So basically, that's your little insight into Mormon culture. No tattoos.
That was our tangent on why they picked Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Yes. Anyways, so we're going back to Real Housewives. Jen Shah is who we're talking about today. She was cast on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
I'm surprised her profile doesn't have a picture.
I'm surprised too. I expected more to be on here. So this will come back later, but she is of Tongan and Hawaiian descent. And so a lot of the people on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City are either like Mormon adjacent, ex-Mormon, like somewhere around there. One of the housewives went on Mormon Stories podcast, which we also went on a little while ago. And I heard that her podcast was really like well received and really good. So I assume that she is not Mormon anymore. I don't know much about her. I think her name's Heather. But this woman in particular, Jen, it sounds like she was born a Mormon. It says originally, so I can assume. But based on what I was reading about her earlier, being that she's Tongan and Hawaiian, and Mormonism has this really extensive history of racism in church history and systemically and currently. As far as culture goes, from what I read, she was kind of informed and like dove deeper into Mormon church history as it pertained to race and decided it was not so much for her. And she actually converted from Mormonism to Islam, which is really a interesting kind of jump.
Yeah, I never really know. It's not my place to comment on anybody's spiritual journey or anything like that. But is her husband?
Oh, is an American football coach.
Muslim
for who?
Too. Utes.
Oh, he coaches at the U.
Wow! What a big Utah fan, Jordan.
Shit,
Good
I don't
job.
know that. Okay. He coaches at my alma mater. So.
Way to go. Doesn't
they
say
met
anything
in college.
Where did he?
And he played at University of Utah.
Oh, okay.
So he's a diehard Ute. Her husband is Muslim. Okay.
That makes sense then. That's really interesting.
Okay, interesting.
An interesting thing about Tonga. Let's see here. Demographics. Why?
Utah's on there.
What was I looking for? I'm stupid.
Are you looking for the breakdown as far as religion goes? Here
you go. Because it's really interesting.
Oh, religion on the right.
On the right.
Here 98 Christian, 54 Methodism, 18 Mormonism.
Really solid chunk of Mormonism population there.
Which is interesting. I mean...
They went really hard in the Pacific
colonizing.
Islands. Yeah, which is But I think a lot of it because of the belief that there's a particular verse in the Book of Mormon where a group of Nephites went off to find some other land or something, so they just sailed off. So the common belief is that those Nephites ended up being, I think particularly some prophet had said New Zealand Maori people, and then I don't know how they would explain the rest of the Pacific Islands, but
someone said, I live in Fiji and Mormonism in the Pacific Islands is right.
Yeah.
The saddest part is the systemic poverty remains, but they build these massive expensive churches and expect the people to tithe to them.
yeah, there's a temple in Fiji.
On brand
too.
for Mormonism.
Yeah, a
Very
temple
on
in
brand.
Fiji, a temple in Tonga.
There have been a lot of people who have asked us to cover the Hawaii aspect because there are a lot of Mormon influencers who live in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And it is...
They have BYU Hawaii there. They have the temple.
They have a temple on
They have the Polynesian Cultural Center.
Mm-hmm. Which you have to pay to get into, I'm pretty sure. Did you know that?
It's fucking expensive, too.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I looked at it.
They pocket all of that, I'm sure.
This one guy that I follow, he's from Hawaii, and I didn't even know that he was Mormon. He was ex-Mormon. He grew up Mormon, and I one day asked him about the Polynesian Cultural Center there, and he told me that he was ex-Mormon, and he gave me a whole explanation on it. If I could find it, I would link it, but it was a while ago. So
now, mind you, we will say there is a lot of we've heard really good things about the Polynesian Cultural Center. That it's very educational and offers...
Yeah, he said, and he is like really, really critical of people who are trying to help, but are just perpetuating the culture of colonization in the islands. But he did have some redemptive things to say about it. So
it doesn't sound like it's super toxic, but I mean, and this is not like confirmed, but allegedly I would think that the money would be pocketed by the church, and they might be paying, their employees, but
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, does that really make it okay? Do they pay the employees all the money that they get?
I know. I mean, are you still stealing labor power from people that you came to their land
that you oppressed and
illegally?
Yeah.
So that's kind of a tough one, and obviously we don't have the expertise or
we've never been.
Yeah, the genealogy to really be commenting on it, but
someone said I call it the Mormon Disneyland. It's a great place, also staffed with loads of kids on their missions, I imagine.
Yeah, I've known a couple people who, not friends of mine or anything, but friends of my sister's who went and worked there. Anyway, we keep getting off topic on this one.
That's all right.
Apostates off topic. Where was this?
That's what we do.
We wanted to go in on talk about Jen Shah.
So the reason we're talking about her is because she just pled guilty in a wire fraud case.
Uh-oh.
So again, we don't watch Real Housewives, so this is all new to me, but I thought it would be interesting to read about it because this is like a big thing. And I remember at least just because I don't follow any of them, but they're Mormon and ex-Mormon, so I do hear things from time to time. I remember her being emphatically I'm innocent. And then I think somebody in the chat just said, she's selling merch about innocence, and then she just pled guilty. So
oof.
And mind you, we understand how the justice system works, and sometimes you take the guilty plea and get a lesser sentence, or there are more reasons. She could be, just doing it to get a lesser sentence, but who knows? Okay, go down. I want to see what this article says. So from what I read, it sounds like it's a telemarketing scheme. So is this MLM vibes maybe? A dramatic courtroom reversal. So it sounds like everybody was anticipating that she was going to plead not guilty then. Let's see. Oh, yeah, changing her plea to guilty to one count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud. She agreed to forfeit $6.5 million and to pay restitution up to $9.5 million and faces a sentence of up to 14 years in prison.
Holy shit.
Wow.
That is a hefty sentence.
That is no joke.
I guess up to, obviously, but to get the maximum sentence.
Wow. Okay.
And obviously there is also the added... there's the publicity thing that might lessen it, but she is definitely on the losing end when it comes to all the people here in Utah have white privilege, and she doesn't.
Yeah, that's fair. She said in court, knew it was wrong. Many people were harmed, and I'm so sorry. And she agreed with others to commit wire fraud and knew it misled victims, over 10 of which were over the age of 55. Oh, no! Taking advantage of older folks? Like, come on. And 55 isn't even old.
I was going to say, my mom's like 55.
I'm thinking like elder abuse. Like, not only over 55, but like way up there, because you can manipulate people who don't, who might not know what's going on.
Somebody said that point of order, that's longer than Japest got. Dude, to think that Japest is going to be in jail for potentially less time, that is Josh Duggar for the uninitiated.
Piece of shit.
She was theoretically facing over 60 without... Are you fucking kidding me? These are...
Wow. That seems kind of...
It's worth noting that for CP charges, you will go to jail for less time.
But his wife is still,
especially here in the state,
still loves him, so everything's okay. So she asked if she knew what she was doing was wrong and illegal, and she replied yes. And she pleaded guilty because she wants to pay her debt to society and put this ordeal behind her and her family. She accepts full responsibility and deeply apologizes to all who have been harmed. So, I mean... No, 56 is not that old at all. I think they said over 55, but because she's 48. So if they mentioned like an age thing, I'm thinking like way on the other, like way older end of the spectrum, like 70s, 80s. And I don't know what she was like selling or trying to do, but
yeah,
those are just the words her lawyer told her to say. For sure. At the end of the day, especially with Real Housewives and any kind of reality TV show, I mean, you just don't really know. And are these people being authentic or are they not? You don't really know. And I mean, no hate to Real Housewives on any of the reality TV shows, but it just seems kind of sketchy, Like,
yeah.
But I mean, who wants to spend a bunch of time in jail? Like, I hear that too.
Oh, it was like a pyramid scheme is what people are saying.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, Josh Duggar got off easy.
Yeah.
Of course, he's in an SO safe facility.
Of course he is.
My approach about criminal justice is probably really different from everybody's, but Josh Duggar and people like Josh Duggar are a exclusionary group. I hope the Duggar doesn't make it out of there. Yeah, I don't think that's really...
We get asked about somebody today messaged
hot take
us on Instagram and asked what we think about the Duggars. I did not watch their show, really. Like, maybe off and on when I was a kid, but I was more into, like, the other reality TV shows on TLC that came up, like Sister Wives and, things of that nature. So I didn't really watch them that much, but from what I do know and from what I've learned now being in, like, this fundy-centered community is that they're not good people. And I don't, as a victim of child sex abuse who was not taken care of and not taken seriously, even when reaching out for help and the adults in my life did not do anything, I have like zero tolerance for that bullshit.
Well, even as a parent too, it just kind of, and then to see like his own family defending that, it just, oh my God, it just paints their whole family as just shit human beings. And I understand that you love your family, but this is one of those instances where you gotta shut it down. Like, that's not okay to associate people like that, even if they are your family, in my opinion. So
for real. Well, and the way, the letter that Michelle wrote to the judge when he was considering sentencing is what got me when she signed it with a little heart.
You.
And the letter from Anna, and I just can't with any of that.
Hashtag thank you, Michelle.
Say yes to the dress. I watched that constantly. I watched that while I was pregnant quite a bit because I needed a nice distraction. So someone said the gig was she sold a passive web-based business setup. They would then sell the leads to the next scam, selling classes to do better. Passive web-based business. Somebody tell Bethany.
Somebody let her know.
Did Bethany take this? Did she try this? And this is where she got her idea?
She nabbed the blueprint from Jen Shah, apparently. And now she's watching this all play out, and maybe she's like, "Oh shit! I kind of pigeonholed myself into a terrible spot,
a tight situation here,
rock in a hard place, if you will."
Yes. Oh, so she sold leads for a lot, especially vulnerable age 55 plus people. aka sold their contact info to be scammed. Yikes! That's bad behavior. We do not stand.
Not a fan. Well, speaking of Bethany Beal, we might as well start to talk about her.
Let's jump into Bethy.
Bethany Beal.
Okay, so...
Here, I'll bring this up. I think this is like so...
Now
sex.
I kind of like the little graphic
I do.
design we got going on here.
I like it.
She works con Bethy Shaw. So, interesting thing that came up this week was an article from Buzzfeed came out about Bethany and a few other funny Christian influencers called What Happens to Christian Influencers When They Get Married. And the second I saw this, I knew that this was going to be a thing, and I knew we needed to talk about it. I did not think it would be long before Bethany addressed it, and she has addressed it, but not before Paul and Morgan made a video about it today, which I did not watch
for real?
Because I do not care about their perspective on this issue because they do the same shit. But Bethany responded, I think, overall positively to Paul and Morgan's video. At first, she was kind of hesitant about it and was like, I don't really know what they're going to say, but are they really going to diss on Girl Defined? I don't think so.
I don't know. They're the only true Scotsmen in a lot of cases, so it wouldn't have surprised me in the slightest. Yep, if I'm being honest.
So does it not have I need to pull up the article with the picture on the front. Will you look it up out of here and see if you can pull up the picture, because it's of Bethany and people need to see it.
Hold on.
Because it's like the one that comes up if you like just Google it. Maybe it's like further down. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
There it is. Oops. This is just, I don't have words.
Is she mad that she finally got the attention that she was looking for?
Bethany will jump into anything and anything she can attention-wise, and this is just something else. And this image will forever be burned in my brain. And did they put like chocolate chips on there too?
That's what it looks like. Or sunflower seeds. I can't tell.
Sunflower seeds. Oh my God.
It kind of begs the question, maybe what foods didn't make the cut for this post? Did they try like cereal and milk before? Or like ramen, soup? Maybe she burned her mouth. I'm not really sure. I hope this was the first choice and it wasn't something that they landed on after trial and error.
Oh my God, Jen. I literally don't understand why Bethy doesn't just do drop shipping or NFTs.
Dude, if she sold it, this is 3 NFTs right here. You
right
got 1,
here.
2, 3.
Oh my God.
I mean, even if it was at $100 a pop, a lot of people like us and the fundies, we would pay grand sums of money.
For real.
For a Girl Defined NFT, honestly.
What? She's going to watch this and take notes, and then she's going to owe Jen some royalties for saying
a vocal trademark on that one. Bethany, if this happens, you're going to owe us some royalties for that idea.
For real. I just...
Speaking of Fundy Fridays, what if we had Fundy Fridays on for a live chat at any point? So Jen, take note, or James, King James, my homie, let us know. Just spitballing here, so especially because they're back. We mentioned it in the video yesterday, but they are back.
They're back.
All strikes are gone.
Hell yeah. Justice prevails.
Justice prevails. Godly fans.
Yeah, sorry for scarring you all with this. The more I look at it, the more I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
She will copyright claim like lost.
She will copyright claim for sure. Okay, scroll back up to the top because I have not read this. I wanted to save it and like get the gist of it with you guys. So I don't need like the description. I can't talk today. Jesus. Okay, we have Bethany, a blonde woman, opens her mouth and looks up at her equally blonde husband. He sprays a tall swirl of whipped cream in her mouth and sprinkles chocolate chips. Okay.
Pardon? Beg your pardon.
Stop. Well, if you're doing that, okay, like, I don't know. Full disclosure, we have not done this, but I do not think that I would put, like, chocolate chips in with that. Like, wouldn't you just want to, like...
That'd be a little crunchy.
Like, why are you wanting to chew?
Yeah. Also, let's not...
Because then you're going to mutually chew.
Let's not ignore the fact that every second that there is whipped cream in somebody's mouth is a second longer that saliva is pooling. So it's going to be like
triggered now.
Hella backwash. I'm sorry if that's triggering for you.
The chocolate chips are a choking hazard. They are.
Ask my toddler.
Well,
just kidding. We've never done that.
If you're so like the whole point is to kiss that they do at the end of it, right? So are you swapping the chocolate chips at the same time too? Because like if you have them in there, they're gonna melt.
Yeah, that's true.
So then they're like melting.
Well, they're not gonna melt as fast as the.
But then they're gonna be squishy. Does. So then you're just swapping chocolate chips. This is just not okay.
I hope this is just a picture and then we spit it out because we're laughing kind of situation because wow, that's just a little.
Keep things spicy. Use Cheese Whiz. I love that. I love that. Okay, so this next sentence gets me. He takes a bite of the creamy concoction. She's just doing it on purpose now.
Dude, this person is going to jail. What the fuck? Okay, Kelsey. Wow.
Oh my God.
Didn't need that.
And the couple perform a brief out-of-sync dance. Oh, out-of-sync dance break to Taylor Swift's Ready for It before sharing a closed-mouth kiss. Out-of-sync dance break is the most accurate thing that we've seen in this so far because we all know that Bethy has like literally no bodily dance talent. We hit teeth so hard, wrote Bethany. I just can't. Oh my God.
I guess whipped cream and chocolate chips decrease depth perception. You get a debuff of depth perception. They've
been married a minute. You should be able to kiss each other without hitting teeth. Like even for a video, like suddenly you pulled the camera out and you forget how it works. Like I am confused. This
was in November 2021 though. How long had they been married at that point?
I don't know. But I just, the two of them, I can't. So no shortage of influencer couples doing vaguely sexy, I would hesitate to use that word, on the platform. But
emphasis on the vaguely.
Vaguely. But this post was a striking departure from Beal's former content. For 12 years, she encouraged single people to avoid all sexual content, including watching TV shows and Instagram reels that mention sex.
Whoa.
Gasp.
Hypocrite alert. Hypocrite alert.
Girl just grapefruit. Okay. Squeal.
The grapefruit.
That video. I wish I had never seen it. So I think that's probably the most ironic thing about Bethany, at least at this point. I mean, there are many things, but for her to make such a sharp pivot from even talking about sex on a social media platform is inappropriate and not godly or God-honoring to everything that she talks about all the time, at least is sex-related. Like, for the majority of, like, I would say she does it at least 2 to 3 times a week.
When it's not her grift, it's, yeah. Because, I mean, every time FSU pops up in my Reddit feed, that's usually what it is when it's Girl Defined, if it's not her stupid grift.
Yeah, for real. And yeah, it's been a lot of she works smart lately because that's been her cringe. But this is fanfic I'd write at 14. But it's just interesting because they all are, she's like, you know, super weird about it. And then suddenly the script flips and she's like, hey, single girl who wants to have sex, bestie.
Yeah.
Let's chat, you know?
Let's chat about XY, whatever.
So she went viral in 2021, first going viral about how she saved her first kiss for her wedding day at 30. So
more power to you, Bethy.
Oh my God. Before she works smart, Bethany just recycles all the same stuff over and over and over again. And so I cannot tell you how many times I've seen a stupid fucking reel that she makes where she just like switches it up. Like, you know, one part of the wedding video, or she's just talking about it, where she just constantly sits on the fact that she did not kiss until her wedding day and thinks that it's like some sort of mega accomplishment.
Yeah.
Like,
which, if that's your goal,
do it.
More power to you.
Yeah.
But it's also when they're like telling people to avoid all these things and then they tack hard into it, like it's their only personality trait suddenly now that they're married, which is fine. Like once you're finally married and you were waiting for such a long time, I feel like you deserve to indulge yourself. But when you're telling people to avoid these things because it's sinful and it's going to ruin your perception of healthy sexuality and your relationships and all of these things, and then just double back on that as soon as you get married because you don't have any other content ideas, it's just pretty fucking...
It's lame.
It's fucking shitty.
It's lame. Peen cuisine, you guys are just... You're just something else.
Peen cuisine?
Is Bethany posting thirst traps? I mean, I wouldn't call... Maybe... Is this a thirst trap?
I don't know. Whoever just got here, is this a thirst trap?
I mean, I would just define it as grotesque, but a grotesque trap.
Jordan doesn't like kissing.
Shut up. But it's the irony. Like Emma just said, no one's as obsessed with sex as purity culture Christians, and that's totally what it is.
You know, another part of the problem is like, maybe she is realizing how harmful purity culture is, and she's like, this is really I don't know. That's probably not the case because she's never going to go back on anything. That's too much self-awareness. But even more over to the point, then she would have to just like admit that she was bullshitting everything and gatekeeping something that she knew nothing about.
For real. Okay, scroll down
30
more.
years.
So... Yeah, I would say, I mean, she argues that it's jarring for some who are used to the pro-abstinence stuff that she peddles. And then Cody Co, blasted them into another level of fame.
And not the good kind.
And so it's like, this is their whole thing. Is it okay to be obsessed with guys? 6 guys you shouldn't date, court, or marry. I hate the term court. Is this the 1800s? Like, just call it dating.
Oh, we are courting.
Jill does the same thing, and I just...
Steady dating.
I can't. Like, just call it... Mormons don't even call it that. And they're...
Boomer Utah Mormons do.
Boomer Utah Mormons do? Your parents didn't do that.
No, my parents aren't boomers.
No, but I mean, I'm thinking of, like, diehard Mormon people.
Yeah, no. I think it's more of Utah.
Stop using it. I don't like it. The world according to me. So, keep going down. Bailey also gets mentioned in here as well. Maybe that's why we're getting some new traction on our Bailey video, because she was mentioned in here. Scroll up a little bit. What do they say about her?
Oh yeah. McKnight. I was like, who the fuck is Bailey?
A 22-year-old Mormon who skyrocketed to YouTube fame with her identical twin Brooklyn, shifted to selling vibrators after getting married last year. Yep, same thing.
We love it, honestly, but...
Now you can go back down.
Yeah. Didn't you have some tea about Brooklyn or Bailey, one of the two?
Not that I've heard.
On the Instagrams.
Somebody...
About the anonymous stuff. What the fuck is that called? I don't even know.
I have no idea what you're talking about, so I might just be out of...
You're the one who showed it to me. Was it not Brooklyn or Bailey? It was the Love is Blind person that messaged you.
Oh, yeah. Somebody messaged me and said that they asked, I don't remember if it was Brooklyn or Bailey, an anonymous question via the anonymous Instagram
the like
thing.
Button, please.
And
beat on that like button.
We're using teeth bump from now on. Thank you, Danny, for that. That is amazing. But she posted herself in like this very like out there bikini, and it's just like, yeah, like that's just that's what it is. And so this person sent her a message and said, do you feel like you get privilege regarding Mormonism because of your level of influence. And of course she didn't respond.
Yeah. This is a blue check mark person, by the way. So
yeah. Yeah. So I'm really surprised that she didn't acknowledge it. But so, and then we've got Brittany Dawn. We've just got like the whole group of all of them together, you guys, all the besties. So Brittany Dawn went from posting about being an aspiring wife to being a wife. The Duggar women, raised to believe that showing any part of their legs above their ankles could tempt men around them, transitioned to new modesty standards after getting married. They're now allowed to wear shorts. And so there's lots of transitions happening here. So it's not necessarily inconsistent for Christian women who talk about not having sex before marriage to then start talking about sex after marriage, but the change can be jarring, right? So for every response that called Bethany's whipped cream video a beautiful view of what marriage should be, who said that?
I don't think anybody is saying that.
Please, no. Oh, God.
Nobody's saying that.
Was it her mom? Other followers found it hypocritical. Okay, keep going down. Please include some comments about how disgusting this is.
This is the third time. Third time's the charm, in case you didn't want to.
Triggered, everyone. I'm sorry. Don't you cater to young girls? Oof.
Yikes.
Oof. Y'all are supposed to be reaching out to single Christian girls. Yeah. What the hell is this, Bethany? This is very provocative. Bethany, will you at least admit that you and your sister have contributed to the idea that Christians need to appear to be pure in all circumstances? It is fine for you to change your minds. That shows growth and maturity, but you are losing a lot of people with this kind of content after what you've preached about. So that's also kind of a dig at her followers.
Preached, wrote books, like conventions, fucking YouTube videos, goddamn podcasts. Like they went hard in this subject matter, and they refuse to face the facts and acknowledge that they have done some harm.
Married legs are no longer Jezebel sticks.
Love that.
Also, yeah, a beautiful view of what marriage should be. No.
Come on.
Please no.
Come on.
Okay, keep going down. Christian influencers have long leaned into purity culture content, abstaining from sex, modesty. So yeah, the article has a point. Like, it's quite a transition to go from, conquering your sexual thoughts, or are you bad because you touch yourself? Or does Jesus hate you because you have a vibrator? Or, it's quite a shift. And then posting yourself making out with your husband with whipped cream and chocolate chips in your mouth before you choke on the chocolate chips. On the chocolate chips.
And other things.
Get that in there like really
among other things.
Carly, thank you for your super chat. You're so nice.
That's a super sticker, by the way.
Super sticker.
FYI.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
The super sticker. It's got a little guy on it.
I don't know the
If that's marriage, I'm getting a divorce.
Let's just quit if that's what it is. We've been doing it wrong this whole time.
Shit.
Okay.
Maybe marriage is a scam.
Maybe.
Jessa July. I almost said it like a southern person like there. Jessa July. 666 donation. The golden number. Watching this in my hotel because my AC is broken. Oh my God. It's hot as hell in the OK Panhandle.
Oof.
Y'all, love y'all. Hate it here. I can't imagine that it's any cooler than it is right now in Utah because it is pretty damn hot.
No kidding. Oh my
RIP to your wardrobe. It's probably going to be drenched in sweat, but sticky. At least hopefully we can keep you entertained.
The humidity. Okay, keep going.
Sorry about the scrolling, everybody.
Oh, and the LeBrants are in here? Oh my God.
LeBrant.
Oh, bro. So, according to the dictates of purity culture, married Christian men can speak publicly about sex. No longer a virgin. #marriage rocks. Vine star turned Christian family blogger Cole LeBrant wrote in an infamous 2017 tweet posted during his honeymoon. Do you remember that? I remember that. It was on Twitter, and it garnered a lot of traction.
Oh, in July 2017?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
It was all over Twitter.
I didn't know who the fuck Cole LeBrant was until this
for a long time, because he was like literally on his honeymoon.
Yeah, right.
The cringe factor, dude.
Bruh, he probably rolled off the bed and tweeted this.
And the part about this...
My guy, get the towel first.
This video is going to get age restricted.
That was pretty ambiguous.
Maybe. Okay. This is the part that really pisses me off about this article. In this, like with the LeBrant thing. LeBrant's wife, Savannah, was not a virgin when they got married, as she tearfully admitted in a video titled "The Truth About Savannah's Past."
No.
And Cole was highly praised by their followers for remaining celibate while they were dating in spite of her confession, because
Shame on all of those people. Shame on them.
The traitorous whore, and Cole is just the innocent, Jesus-loving freak in the mix. Like, why is this even a thing? Like, Mormonism is the same way. Our whole relationship in the beginning was the same way. I felt the need to disclose that I wasn't, because I was afraid he wasn't going to marry me if he knew that I wasn't.
I know.
And so
you don't get a fucking gold star.
This whole dynamic is just gross.
He tweeted that at 3 a.m. Yeah.
That's
Nothing
fair.
good happens after 3 a.m. That's because the Holy Ghost goes to bed at midnight. I wish I were joking about people actually saying that.
Mormons say that, and not ironically. All right, keep going. Yeah, 10,000 retweets on that.
She really knew how to pick them.
Bethany did not
sad.
respond to a request for comment.
Come on, Bethany.
Bethany.
If you are playing the social media game, you have to know that all press is good press. Come on.
Clearly she doesn't understand that.
You have to accept, I know it's
Another
BuzzFeed.
one.
It's not exactly the Times or the Journal, but, you know, you got to roll with the punches.
She could have used it to promote her new grift. She could have been like, oh,
I know.
well, you know, it's not just Bethany of Girl Defined anymore. It's Bethany of She Works Smart.
She works smart.
Thank you to this person who sent another super sticker.
Super sticker.
I'm going to butcher your username.
Chihore. I don't know.
Let's
Sorry
roll with
about
that. Let's roll with that. Thank you. Yeah, Berthy didn't want the attention. What the hell is this?
I know.
What the hell is this?
That could have opened up a whole new arc of content where she didn't have to talk about her wedding for every 5 fucking minutes of the day.
Honestly. Or the stupid business. Oh my God. Okay, so she told people to lighten up. I'm not going to stop if Christians don't want to talk about a biblical perspective of marriage and sex. Who will? She wrote in January 2022. I think we're doing Christian women a major disservice by being so silent on the topic of sex. It's not helpful to be so silent. That leaves Christian women turning to the internet for help, and that's a disaster. God forbid.
God forbid that somebody find a fucking source of information that gives it to you straight rather than giving some sort of Christian spin about shame and
a disaster.
Sexual brokenness.
We are all sexually broken. I should have worn my Funny Fridays sexually broken shirt.
Oh yeah. L.
A disaster. I have a hard time conceptualizing that she thinks the people like I just don't get it. I don't get the Christianness. I mean, I do agree with her in the sense that I think religious women in general are done a major disservice, but not by being silent on the topic of sex, but by purity culture in general. So I think that's more of my issue with it. Like, you think about Christian sex, and that's like a whole new like issue with purity culture. It's like,
it's a whole new demon to fight.
yeah,
bro.
purity culture amplified, you know? So I get where she's coming from in that sense, but it's not like, I can't hand it to her for being like progressive in this sense, because it's not. She's just perpetuating more bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like...
It's very thinly veiled. It's a desperate attempt to stay relevant even though she's changed her views.
Right. Well, and it's not even like, I can't hand it to her for being progressive, because at the same time she's like, yes, we're talking about sex, but only when it's biblical.
Only when it's biblical.
Only. That's the only time.
You know what? I only want to do it if, if it was written about in Solomon's song. Otherwise, I don't want to hear it.
For real. I think it's time for Christians to do a better job with this topic. It's not a bad topic. Well, your whole rhetoric kind of seems to dictate otherwise. And it's not a shameful topic. Isn't that just fucking ironic?
I know. I feel like the idea that it's a shameful thing is kind of inherently attached to the idea that everybody's sexually broken. which is like your whole thing. So,
oh, Jen submitted a quote for this article but missed the deadline. Boo!
No longer a virgin to super chat 100.
Thank you, Danielle. Fundy Fridays is here. Yes, Jen has been here for a minute.
Thank you, Danielle. You're awesome.
But that's the thing is she talks out, I mean, as most like Christian fundies in this influencer sphere do, like it's just they can't, you know, like they're like, ooh, we're progressive. And we're like, you know, no.
And if you are, you've already done the harm. So maybe try a little harder to undo harm. It'd be a better option.
Yeah, and I don't even know like what they're really offering, because what does the whipped cream picture do? What does the nanny do? What does the whipped cream do? Like, yeah, what is that teaching women about sex?
And is it kind of like a metaphor, like, oh, this is only what we can show on Instagram, or was it really just a stunt? Because it's almost implying that, oh, this is what we do in the bedroom. You guys should check it out, because it's. I don't remember what the caption said, or if it even said anything about the caption, but
I just like, okay, I could maybe see like, let's break down like the shame attached, and let's talk about, you know, the anxiety surrounding being a virgin, what happens the first night. Like maybe that's helpful, but just being like, here's my husband hitting me with his teeth. What does the cream do? That's from Sister Wives. Sister Wives stans will know. That's Christine. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's a God design. It's the same thing that fucking Brittany says. Brittany's getting yoked in the bedroom, and Bethany's over here putting whipped cream in her mouth. It's a God-designed, beautiful aspect of our lives. God created sex. He has a lot to say about it in his word. He's not embarrassed by the word or the topic. If you're single, dating, or engaged, I strongly encourage you to do a deep dive on a biblical understanding of sexual intimacy.
I love how she just say, it's biblical.
It's biblical, baby.
It's biblical, baby. Yeah, and we've talked about this, and it jogged my memory when we watched that little off-topic video. Or not off-topic, fucking out-of-context video. Where I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Biblical word, talking about intimacy. Where is that in the Bible? You're just going to talk about things and make up stories about Adam and Eve based on fucking really vague Bible verses and shit like that. She will just say, it's biblical. Okay.
Did Eve have a vibrator? We'll never know.
It was like a hive of bees.
Yoked. Right to jail.
Right to jail.
Right to jail. Also,
yoked, right to jail.
DJ Ghetto Steve made a good point. That tracks. She won't even get her own toothbrush. So, I mean, that's other things I wish I could forget.
Ew.
Don't cut spirit ties or soul ties or whatever B-Dong says. Her and Dave share a toothbrush. They most definitely do, and I will never forget it.
That is disgusting. I
bet they bonk foreheads too. Okay, keep going.
Maybe they don't know that at least one person needs to turn their head. Because that's the only scenario I can think of where you're really gonna run into issues with bonking teeth or foreheads.
Oh my god.
So that's
okay, keep going.
That's funny. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Influencer sex positive content is pretty vague. No guidance about which content to read or watch. Followers are left to figure it out themselves, and there's little discussion by Christian influencers about contraception, pleasure, or communicating needs to a partner. That's why, to me, it's kind of useless. Yeah. Like, unless you're doing any of that or something else that's, like, educational or trying to break down purity culture and shame, like...
Yeah, you're just making a shittier version of OnlyFans.
Former followers of Bethany are frustrated that she's not being held accountable for her own anti-sex messaging, which helps uphold the norm of women not knowing much about sex when they enter marriage. Maddie, a 25-year-old graduate student, most interviewees requested that their surnames be withheld to protect their privacy. Okay. And she has an issue with Bethany failing to recognize herself as part of the problem. All of us do. All of us do. In a 2017 blog post, Kristen and Bethany called secular culture sex crazed and condemned what Maddie called aggressive, bold, and flirtatious behavior. For example, making the first move.
Wow. I did not realize
Girlies.
that Girl Defined had reached that low of a level.
Jen says, I get the feeling that Dave didn't know they were sharing. That's fair.
I feel like he probably would have had some objections
That's
if
fair.
he was in the know. That's a fair analysis.
I love you, but I would never share a toothbrush with you. Unless it was urgent. Unless it was
I wouldn't either, honestly.
Unless I was like dying and needed to. I don't know. I don't even know if there was an exception to that
I would go
rule.
without brushing my teeth.
My first married kiss, says Bethany. All I got was this chipped tooth. Oh my God. Okay, let's see. She's now framing her social media presence around being a Christian woman who isn't afraid to talk about sex and completely ignoring that all she promoted in the last 5 years was the notion that women could only be fulfilled if they repressed their sexual desires at all costs. Historically, you have espoused the same rhetoric you're now trying to counter. It's hypocritical. I mean, she's right.
She is right.
She's totally right.
Why can't I...
What?
This edge is like cut off. Sorry if that's driving you nuts. It's driving me nuts too, so I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe if I zoom out one.
There you go.
That's a little better. It's still
So,
legible.
A former ex-evangelical over here told BuzzFeed News that growing up within purity culture involved a lifetime of indoctrination that sex is bad. Left her shamed, uneducated, even after she was married. Purity culture.
Purity culture.
It's hard for me when I see accounts like Girl Defined that have really pretty graphics and innocent enough language in scripture. They're attractive and bubbly, and they present it in this way that doesn't seem harmful, and yet it is, and it applies uneven standards to young girls and women. And they're not actually listening to those of us that have been harmed by this movement. It's totally true. Oh my God, FSU got a shout out in here? Shit.
Wait, who got a shout out? FSU?
Funny Snark Uncensored.
Oh, it's important to mention that James once had to use Jen Fundy Friday's toothbrush on vacation, and he walked out of the bathroom and said, "Sorry, I had to pull a Bethany."
Did you die right then and there? That is the funniest shit.
But did you die?
But did you die? See, Sunny, a moderator of FSU, which keeps tabs on fundamentalist religious influencers, told BuzzFeed that they think the post by former purity influencers about the clumsy climb out of being a virgin could be beneficial to young people, but they think it would be better if she recognized that her upbringing in purity culture contributed so much to that difficult transition. Facts.
Love that.
Facts right
Way
here.
to go, Sunny. That is a apt analysis.
It is the clumsy climb out of being a virgin for me. I mean, I don't know.
It is pretty clumsy. It's
I
gonna
guess,
be,
yeah.
The long climb is littered with chipped teeth and
Melted
whipped
chocolate
cream
chips.
backwash.
They're gonna need toothbrushes that night. Encouraging total abstinence from all sexual content before marriage and an obsession with sex the moment after the wedding is a harmful expectation of purity culture. Erin Pritchard, a sex therapist, who works with Christian women, told BuzzFeed News that consumers need to be aware that influencers' content could go in a different direction after a major life change, but said it's also up to influencers to make sure they aren't confusing or overwhelming their audiences. I mean, if you're going to make a giant shift like that in content, yeah, some people are going to be mad. Some people are going to unfollow. But your audience might be growing with you in that sense and being like, yeah, purity culture is bad. And, this is something that we need to grow out of.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing when Mormon influencers leave the church. Like, yeah, you'll lose some followers, but there's also people that continue to grow with you because they're like, oh, yeah, I'm on the fringe too. And UTIs.
UTIs for sure, especially when they're so big on people having children and everything. If they're not talking about UTIs and educating people, that can destroy the opportunity that people have to have children. So they're really doing themselves a disservice in a lot of cases.
So let's see here. You're totally on lockdown until you're married, but once you're married, people expect a switch to flip. We've always said that. but that's not a healthy sex life. When Christian women go off and get married, they have a higher rates of vaginismus than their peers, and there's a higher orgasm gap with Christian couples. Gasp.
Shocker.
Wow. Don't tell Paul. Women can have PTSD symptoms in their marriages even if they haven't experienced trauma. That's how damaging purity culture can be and how important it is for these people to start acknowledging what impact it can have on their audience. Like, hello, can you imagine if a bunch of Christian women got together and were like, hey, you're not doing it right. And they all like collectively shared some information, and then they went back to their husbands and were like, hey, fix this. Let me draw it out for you. Do you need a picture? Can I draw some anatomy for you? Like,
right.
What's the harm in that? Like, you're not getting on the internet and watching porn. Like, if you're just collectively with other Christian women garnering information, what's wrong with that?
Just saying.
I don't know. Somebody said, what Mormon influencers have openly left the church? As of recently, I got told that Amber Fillerup Clark left the church, and we did an influencer video on her, and I'm very happy to hear that. Culture critic.
You were like, this sounds like the kind of person
I
that
did.
is about to leave the church.
That's so true. And she was probably annoyed at the time, but maybe she thought she was on the way out. Maybe. I called it, you guys. I can have one thing, and I called it.
Paul thinks the G-spot is in a car engine.
Paul is confused. He can't even rip his shirt without cutting the collar. I don't think Morgie is having a great time in the bedroom.
Paul be like, G-spot, isn't that a Mercedes-Benz SUV?
Culture critic and former BuzzFeed news writer Anne Helen Peterson wrote in her newsletter about the constant warfare young religious women faced, encouraged to orient their entire lives toward a pursuit of a partner while fighting their hormonal urges. Yeah, you got to deny those urges, according to Bethany and Kristen. She told BuzzFeed News that McKay, the Mormon twinfluencer, oh, that's just lame, who also pivoted to sex positivity within marriage after promoting abstinence, was an example of someone who changed her content more organically by, for example, sharing about the awkwardness of her wedding night. That is true. She did do that.
Has Bethy said anything about how awkward it was for them, or is she just pretending like everything is all hunky-dory all the time?
I don't think she's ever talked about that.
It just works.
It just works. She introduced sex positivity the way someone would a boyfriend, gradually, then consistently, but always with a lot of candor. She did AMAs. She talked about all sorts of facets of sex positivity, like pleasure and occasionally mismatched sex drives. She seemed very happy. The glow up was not just bronzer. So, I mean, she did do that. She did a whole Instagram series about vibrators and about, what the first night was like and how I think she said she's the higher drive partner, and that's all helpful. But I will also argue the fact that I don't think she's Mormon. So while we're like giving accolades for the fact that she's Mormon and offering that, I don't think that's what's actually happening. So maybe take it down a few notches.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's anything else in here that's interesting. Important to recognize when influencers are doing something beneficial. Agree. Could it have been better? Yes, but we can't sit around waiting for perfection before we encourage her. If we do, then her and many others like her will never take the first steps out. Still could have done without the dozens of whipped cream videos, though. Yeah, see? Same. So I will give credit in that sense, but, it's not like this grandiose thing.
It's hard to, oh my God, is this just catching up on all the comments?
LOL.
It looks like we're more popular than we actually are.
Yeah, definitely not. I can't read that fast.
I don't know why that isn't active.
Jen said, so anyway. A soft launch? Everything is soft.
Especially when your teeth are getting chipped. Going in for a little smack.
It needs to be a little softer.
Lip smack.
Yeah, overall, I have a hard time giving it to Bethany in this arena. I just really do, because I just don't think she's doing anything amazing.
Whoa, with the super sticker.
Oh my gosh, that's cool. He's riding on a rocket.
MJM2. Thanks for the super sticker. We hella appreciate it, and we appreciate, shout out to everybody watching right now, because it helps us, and it helps. I mean, this stream is already doing better than the last stream, so it makes me feel like this is being well received. So thank you.
Which we love to see.
Yeah. Sorry for cutting you off there.
No, that's okay. I don't know. I agree in the sense that I don't want to. Here's my thoughts about Bethany. I think in some sense Bethany gives a shit about what people say about her, but I also think that she is so strong in my whole personality is Jesus, that she tunes out any criticism as just coming from atheist haters. You know what I mean? So, like, even if it's warranted and it's like, here's an area that you could improve. And Bethany, I think you're taking a good step here, but, like, let's go all the way. She's just like, well, I just have all these haters that don't like me and they're godless atheist heathens and, you know. So, all in all, thank you, Bethany, for giving us that article and scarring us.
For everything.
Forever and ever.
Thank you for everything. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, guys. All right, let's hear about Ruby.
Is this about Ruby as much as it is about her homie, Jody?
We can just, catch up on all things Ruby and Jody, okay? So
let's start it off by watching this.
Yeah, let's start with this beautiful image.
Thank you to whoever posted this. You can crop videos. That is just my small amount of criticism, but let's check this shit out. I don't know if there's audio. Actually, I will keep it on mute because I don't know if it's...
Here's Jody, Ruby's bestie, taking some photos. Oh, here she is. Look at this patriotic bitch. She's crying. That's what she's saying in this video is, I don't know why I'm crying. So this is the video that we talked about last week or the week before.
This feels like the fucking... that one video of the former president who gets up on stage and he, like, hugs the flag and even, made
so
an
awkward.
Inanimate object feel as uncomfortable as any other person that he's probably ever hugged.
Oh my God. So this is Jody's partner in the Connections scheme.
Connections coaching.
Yeah. So I included this because our last video about Ruby, we talked about this where Jody got called out for handling a flag, which you're not supposed to do. And she got called out for it and then lost her shit about it. But I continue. I'm in the 8-passenger snark sub and Connections gets brought up quite a bit. I don't know. I don't possibly know where the situation that they're in now with Connections ends positively. I just don't. There is one scenario, and this is my own opinion. Ruby and Jody are a little too close for me. A little too close.
Gal
okay?
pals?
They are gal pals, but as of late, they've been like, pull up the Connections coaching page and see if it's the images on there that I'm thinking of. They've been awfully, what's the word? Handsy, touchy with each other. So let's take a look here.
But it's just like weird. All of that aside, they just do like weird things.
I want to draw attention to Jody's outfit. Click out of it.
Click out of it in this one.
And just look at, I guess you can't see it. Can you pause it on that first image? Just look at her outfit.
Wow, Jordan, have we really degraded to critiquing people's outfits?
Jordan. I don't know. Okay, X out of that. So they're just getting very close with each other. Keep going. There's one I have in mind.
This is the dumbest fucking thing you could ever post on the internet. Do not set people up for an opportunity to put whatever they want on your sign.
Yeah.
Don't do that ever.
For real. Okay, keep going. There's one I'm thinking of in particular.
Oh, here's the better shot of her crying, holding the flag.
I get emotional every time I see it.
I just really appreciate that the Nephites came here.
Oh, our first fight.
1,000 years ago.
That's what that image gives me. Okay, keep going. God, there's one I'm thinking of in particular, but maybe they didn't post it on here.
Jordan. No, I think it was
that
on
one.
Moms of Truth. This one?
Go up. In the middle.
Experience is neutral.
Okay. If you did not know anything about Jody and Ruby, if you just came across this photo in the wild, you don't know these two women, you don't know that Ruby's nuts, you don't know that they're starting a cult, Throw all of that out of your brain. And you see this image and get rid of the text on it and drop in the chat what this image gives you. What do you feel? What emotions does it elicit? We're going into therapy content here.
God.
Feel your feelings and tell me what you think of this image. Out in the wild, out of context.
Those women are married. Help.
Just gals being pals. Pride flag. Look like a couple. A couple. Gay. Gals being pals with a rainbow. A couple.
Which we love.
Gay.
We love gals being pals in a sapphic way.
Rainbow capitalism.
When you're not fucking telling LGBTQ plus people that they're in distortion or it's against nature, not a fan of that. Subaru drivers.
Gentle older sapphic. Okay. So we're all on the same page here, yeah. I feel like. So, and let me give full disclaimer before somebody gets, not their garmies in a wad, but before somebody gets their panties in a wad about what we're saying. We're not, here to shame people for sexuality or, throw hate or, I don't know. Speculation, I feel like in this case is...
She kind of does look like Chelsea Handler in this.
She kind of does.
A little bit. Oh, she would probably be so fucking triggered that anybody said that about her.
When it comes to Ruby, for me, all bets are off. Like, I will say whatever the fuck I want about Ruby because she's a terrible person. And so I can speculate on her relationship status, potentially. Okay? Would I do that for another person? Probably not. That's not helpful. But in this case... there are too many things that are happening. Like there's this one picture and I can't find it on here, but it's the two of them like sitting together and Jody has her hand like on Ruby's knee. And
let me see if I can find it. Is it in the Moms of Truth one? Do you think?
I thought it was in here. Maybe, no, this is getting way old. Now we're way back into the old stuff.
Let's try the Moms of Truth one.
Try the Moms of Truth one. That might be where it is. We are talking about Ruby,
we have to do it on Jordan's because I got blocked by them.
I forgot.
Truthful touch? What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Every single touch affects us.
We're
keep going.
Looking.
Oh, now we're back.
Now we're back.
Content.
If you did not know, this profile right here is Ruby's old Instagram that has been co-opted by, hopefully it was offered up by Ruby, but co-opted by Jody to boost the
Moms
validity of whatever the fuck they're trying to do with this, their little podcast.
Which is so sketchy.
It is so sketchy.
Like hi Rebecca, this is so sketchy. Like I cannot even say, because the Moms of Truth group on Facebook has like, last I checked, had like 3,000 or 4,000 people in it, I think. And I would venture that at least like 25% of that is members of the 8 Passenger Snarks Up. And so it's not a big group, but they throw out this toxic nonsense that they're selling as like this life-changing ideology. And really, in a general social media sense, it's not going to get a lot of traction. But you post this on Ruby's former Instagram account that has 390,000 followers.
Yeah.
And now we've got some traction.
This post is so fucking unhinged.
I was going to ask you
this is
about
absolutely this is your absolute subjective truth, friend. I don't know.
Go to the truth is one.
This is truth is.
There should be a...
This one?
Yeah, go to the one where it says truth is. No, you're on the right one.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You were on truth is not.
Truth is reality. Truth is objective.
Knowable by a third party is the one that gets me.
That is fucking wild. These people are on a different planet.
PFP says business gays. So there's something off happening here. And I think we've only like talked about this maybe once or twice before. And it's always been in like within another video. So we've never talked about it like directly. But within Mormonism, there is generally a need for people to not share if they are a member of the LGBTQ plus community. Because if you do, you can get ostracized.
Yeah.
Yada, yada. And so there was a group of people, of men, who started like we have same-sex attraction, and we want to form a support group for all of us to just get together and, support each other, because they're in, if I recall, all of them were married to women.
Yeah, from what I
remember. And so they would get together and do these support groups. So these women are thinking that their husbands are going to these support groups and, just getting support for navigating what it means to be married to a woman but having same-sex attraction. So what ended up happening with this group is it turned into like, what did they call it?
Group and groups like it. It wasn't like this was the
there's a variation of them, but touching parties and beyond. So, and this is legit. There was a member of this group who came out and talked about it, but it went from, they would do retreats, and it's a setup for like how intense you want to take it. So like these men would go on the retreat, and if they were okay with like just seeing each other without clothing, then they could participate that way. If they were willing to just, if they were okay to touch each other, then that's another thing that you could participate in.
Yeah.
Like they turned it into a whole thing. And this is all under the guise of Mormonism. Like Mormonism doesn't allow this shit, so they have to go out and about it a different way to keep everything under wraps.
Yeah. And if you're calling bullshit on this, you can, there was a whole Mormon Stories episode about it. Kyle Ashworth, he runs Latter-day Stories. He was part of this, so he was talking about firsthand experiences. So you can just Google Kyle Ashworth Mormon Stories podcast, and you can find it.
But that's the gist of it. And they would go on these retreats, and it turned into this whole thing, and everybody, like, generally within the organization was aware of it. But here is what makes me think like Ruby's situation, because if you, and these people are married, like the people that were participating, these people are active in church. They're, married to Relief Society presidents. They're, active in church callings. They're in church leadership. So these aren't just like on the fringe members, because you come out, you potentially ruin your marriage. You have to get divorced. You lose, full-time custody. You have to go half with your kids. And so there's a lot on the line if you're a Mormon and you have to, like, you decide to live publicly as who you are, right? And so Ruby is a woman married to a man. They are within Mormonism. Jody is also married to a man, as far as I know. And so they're both married. They're both Mormon. They're both, like, uncomfortably Mormon. And they've created this cult together, and it involves spending a ton of time together, filming together, chatting together, texting.
Going to the lake together.
They go to the lake together.
Retreats together.
They've started doing retreats where they're going on, I think one of them is like in St. George, I think, or like somewhere in Arizona.
Paid retreats.
Where they're going on paid retreats, and they presumably leave their husbands at home. And so could something sus be happening? Absolutely. And it has to happen under the guise of what they have going on here, because otherwise they would have to go public with it.
Yeah.
Plus the stakes are very, very high for Ruby, because she is very public, very well known. Like if she walks around Provo, everybody's going to know who she is.
She got it on her fucking car. I don't know if she got a new car or whatever, but.
So she's very much like in a position where if, and again, we're speculating, but if that were to be the case, there would be a lot on the line for her to give up.
Yeah.
If she wanted to do that.
There's also the power dynamic. Ruby had a huge following on YouTube. Lots of shit came out because she started to get comfortable, and people realized it wasn't it, and we don't like her. She's doing terrible things. She's a bad parent. She's a bad person, all of these things. And now she's fallen into the arms of Jody, who has offered her really like kind of a redemption and a way to make a living after her calamitous fucking downfall with 8 passengers.
Yep.
So now she has this like power dynamic where Jody has helped her a great deal. Jody has all this, I'm going to say loosely, knowledge, because she doesn't fucking put it to use, and has already established this thing that she can get in on. So she potentially could be using that as leverage, or I don't know. It's hard to say. It makes me think of the power dynamic between that one family and the guy who kidnapped their daughter in Pocatello. We watched that Netflix special about it. I mean, this is a devout Mormon man, and he ended up giving the guy who kidnapped his daughter a handy in the car.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's weird what kind of
it's wild
boundaries people will cross when they're put in this situation with like a power dynamic like that.
Yeah.
It's really weird. So
it's bizarre, and it would, I would hesitate to say everything, but Ruby would probably lose almost everything if that was the path that she decided to go down. Like if she were to come out and say, either I'm bisexual or, I'm a lesbian, like that would effectively, that would be her platform.
Here's what it could be also. She's afraid that she's going to be treated the same way that she's treated LGBTQ plus people her entire life.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's it too.
Which would be a bitch, honestly. I don't blame her. But, I mean, you reap what you sow. If that's the case, obviously this is speculative.
But I've seen lots of comments in the 8 Passengers sub about it recently, and it just, everybody's vibes are kind of going off with this situation. And somebody in the sub today was like, well, Ruby has talked about how she's had issues in their intimate relationship with her husband. And so then that's like another...
Dude, how does she not get turned on by Mormon Pitbull? Mr. Worldwide, come on. The dude wins Grammys in English and Spanish, and you don't get turned on by the resemblance of that? Come on.
What documentary is that? Do you remember?
It's not a documentary. I guess it is kind of like a docudrama. It's like Abducted in Plain Sight.
Abducted in Plain Sight. That's what it is.
Let me confirm that. Abducted in Plain
Lake Lesbians.
Lake Lesbians. Yeah, Abducted in Plain Sight. It just absolutely floored me that this was in Pocatello because they used to live... Well, I worked in Pocatello for a little while, and now my sister currently lives there.
So, again, this is all speculative, but there's something weird here going on for me.
It is, if you'd like to see it. Sorry. Continue watching.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that was really good.
This guy was the guy who just, wanted to help a friend with letting off some steam, even though it went against, like, everything he believed in, but...
it's fine.
Those people I kind of have a hard time giving any grace to, but...
So, and I mean, this is a speculative tangent about that aspect of it because it's weird and it's giving me weird vibes, and I don't know the direction this is going to go. But that's secondary to the absolute insanity that they've started with this cult that they've created. Like, it is just absolutely toxic. Like, it's either truth or it's distortion, and everything is focused on, I saw a post today that was like, an allowance is not distortion or isn't a principle of truth or something. Like, they're really going out here and making every single living, waking thing like an issue. Like, why do we need to be with this? Like, what is the point? Like, what are you doing? Because I think Jody knows what she's doing, and I think Jody manipulated Ruby, and I don't think Ruby's aware of it because... like you said, Ruby's in a vulnerable position because she just got shit on. And
constantly over the past few years has been shit on.
And isn't doing super hot on, YouTube in general, and has decided she doesn't want to post because she's gone full blown into Connections now. But I think Jody saw an opportunity and she took it.
Yeah.
And it's
honestly,
smart.
I'm surprised that they haven't co-opted unless there's some restrictions or things that they can't get around legally with their YouTube channel. I'm sure if it were an easy switch over, they would totally take that over and just start posting this absolute dog shit to their 1 million+ subscribers or however many they have.
Yeah. Well, and just recently, I think they do have a YouTube channel, but I don't think there's like anything on there, like as far as
they do. Yeah.
Having views or anything with their stuff. But just the other day, I read something in the sub that said that Ruby had made a comment about how she didn't care if her kids didn't take care of her when she was old because she wouldn't want to be living in distortion. It's like, I don't know if she was implying that her kids will be distorted by that point. Or her kids are in distortion for not wanting to take care of her. Yeah. Is that what she's trying to say?
I'm not really sure. Maybe she's realizing that she raised her kids really poorly and she doesn't want to have to be on the receiving end of that.
Honestly,
I'll say it. I don't care.
Which her daughter, Sherry, is in that group, and she's Ruby Jr. She's,
which is disappointing.
Gets a hard-on for the Constitution, loves Trump, and, is in that same camp. So I can't imagine that she's giving Ruby any pushback, and I'm pretty sure Chad's going to go on a mission, and they're all going to need therapy for how much trauma she's caused them. Like, I can only imagine. I hope they all get to a point where they are able to deal with this.
Get a therapist that's not going to break confidentiality to report them to the honor code office for their porn habits.
But Jody wouldn't know anything about that, would she?
No.
So
wouldn't know anything about that.
And the mental health takes are terrible, and it's really unfortunate for somebody who has, a background in mental health, a degree in mental health, and she's not purporting her credentials, at least at this point. I'm pretty sure she still has her license. And so it's just kind of unfortunate to make claims like this and to be like, like I recently saw a Facebook post from the group where they said that medication was not a principle of truth. And so if you have to take medication for a mental health issue, then you're not living in truth. And I'm like, that bullshit.
Fuck that. It can be your truth, but guess what? Don't tell people to not take medication if it's something that genuinely helps them.
So Amber, we probably should have talked about what distortion is. So Ruby, who is a Mormon, and Jody, who is a Mormon, have come together and created this like little culty weird group of moms. And so their whole thing is either things are a principle of truth with a capital T, or you're living in distortion. And so distortion is their idea of like basically living in sin and being manipulated and not being right with God.
I feel like they saw the system of like righteousness and sinfulness, I guess. And then they were like, no, we need to add another layer. So there's like righteous and sinful. And now there's like things that aren't addressed as righteous or sinful. We're going to make truth or distortion.
Exactly.
Because there's nothing that anything in Mormonism really says other than the General Handbook of Instructions regarding medication and things like that. So they just take it upon themselves to say, you know what, that's distortion. That's not what God is saying, basically.
Yeah.
And you just shouldn't be doing that because it's not truth.
Which is toxic. Like, it is... I can't. I can't. As like, and not even coming from like a mental health, like working in mental health perspective, but like from a personal perspective as somebody who takes mental health meds to like, stay afloat and be, and mood stabilizers and SSRIs and things of that nature. Like, there's nothing in distortion about that. And it just makes me sad because there's going to be, people in this group who are navigating mental health issues, and they're like, well, maybe I should consider meds. And then Jody's like, you're in distortion, you stupid bitch. And then you're like, well, fuck, what do I do now? They took Joseph Smith, copied his homework, copied it, but tweaked it a little bit before turning it in. It does. I mean, it's bound in Mormonism. And the thing is they say it's not based in religion. But then they make posts all the time about God. And this isn't in line with God. And truth isn't a principle. And oh my God. Yeah. Everything we do would be in distortion. Our child would be in distortion. We're in distortion. Everything that we do is causing distortion. Like, it just... Yeah. It just has turned into this whole thing. And so I'm just very sad that this is the state that they're in right now. Because Ruby has a lot of pull with a lot of people, especially with Mormon moms. And it would just be really unfortunate for people to get sucked into this. And extremism never breeds anything good. No. So I don't think this is going to end well unless Jody and Ruby decide to be their true selves and ride off into the sunset. I mean, that's like, to me, that's the only like good outcome that could possibly come of this.
The only redemption, really. Yeah. In a lot of cases. All right. We're just going to talk about a couple things to wrap everything up. This one I wanted to show. You've heard of Book of Mormon, the musical. We'll get ready for bigotry, the shirt. This came up on my Facebook feed, and I was absolutely fucking floored. They really took the family, A Proclamation to the World, a document that is basically created in an attempt to use as precedent to argue against the legality of gay marriage, and will likely meet that end again in the near future here in the United States, saying that marriage is only between a man and a woman, blah, 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 whatever. So they made this fucking shirt. This is like a real company. It's like streetwear for Mormons.
Because you can't just wear regular clothes.
Way. Yeah. I mean, the fact that you have a choice of weight.
Why
that's
does the
wild.
weight matter?
I can't believe that I can because it's a corporation, but they have Apple Pay enabled, all over print. Just absolutely mind blowing. And if I ever saw somebody wearing this, I would have to
what else
really
do they
bite
sell?
my tongue. They sell so much shit. You can go here. It's navu.supply.
Go to the top sellers.
Hold on. I wanted to show this one. They have a whole fucking collection up in this bitch. Where was it? The Brigham Young collection. Their literal collection idolizing the racist, homophobic piece of human garbage, Brigham Young.
I cannot.
There was like a bunch. Where are you seeing top sellers? Let's just go to top sellers. Fuck it. Oh my God, they're co-opting Metallica shit.
Oh my God.
Dude, I am going to email Metallica and be like, hey, these guys are bordering on copyright infringement because...
Forever Young. Oh my God.
Imagine Wagons.
With the same thing. Oh my
Yikes.
God.
1830, kind of giving Betsy Ross flag type vibes. Can you imagine somebody actually wearing this unironically? What the fuck?
This
Why?
is like BYU Proud Boys Underground. Like I don't even know where to begin with this. Do they have a whole... Oh my God. They have a puzzle?
A puzzle.
Oh my God. CTR, choose the right.
Nauvoo Supply Co. Look at this fucking Vivint salesman right here.
Wow.
Deseret State of Mind.
Oh my God.
With the little bee on it.
Deseret
Mormons
State.
are massacring the bees, my guys. Gift cards. Who the fuck would want a gift card to this place? Hexagons are the bestigons.
You really can't. People really can't buy this stuff, right?
There's
like
this website is too well designed for it to not be the color the supreme block lettering. Oh wait, what does this little one say here? Repent. Go down here. Repent and prepare ye the way of the Lord and make his path straight, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Is that the verse from the Bible, or is that the one that is literally plagiarized off of the King James version of the Bible?
They're kind of playing it. I mean, it's kind of a risk to rip off brands that similarly. Like that stuff is...
I know.
I mean, I wouldn't mess around with like big companies like that like Marvel, Metallica, like their stuff is trademarked. And approximations.
It kind of feels like... I remember going to Elitch Gardens when I was a kid, when it was Six Flags. And they would have like these kind of Looney Tunes themed Christian shirts.
Ew. Ew. Who do you gift repent to? Someone you don't like.
Someone you don't like. This
oh
little
God.
baby diaper organizer. I guess they recognize their market, right?
His and hers regarding priesthood. Yeah, where's that at? Penis priesthood holder.
It's they should do the priesthood holder, and it's just like a C ring.
Oh God.
That would be fucking funny. Oh man, this is a little deep cut. Is this garment friendly? Do we know? I don't know.
I imagine. Why would they sell
That's
anything
one of the ones
not?
where you have to tuck your garments in all the time.
Total cash grab.
LOL.
No way that Marvel one isn't copyright infringement.
What?
Ew.
Dude, stop. Stop. Is this supposed to be like a...
Start a family. That's what you should wear when you decide to do that.
Yikes.
You'll really attract
That's
some
really gonna get
cute
you.
little friends if that's what you wear.
Oh, to be clear, you're not advocating for anarchy when you're wearing this. You're rebelling against the Hollywood, DC, and Silicon Valley norms that reject family life. Good rebels wanted.
Oh my god, who writes
LOL.
these?
Real anarchists uphold the fucking patriarchy.
Maybe if you don't want it to be confused with that, maybe don't use the symbol. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Friendos.
Maybe. I don't know. Anarchy, Silicon Valley. That's
they made it a fucking pillow too.
If you buy that pillow, oh my god.
This is all
Can
bad.
you imagine like having that in your house and then like
No, this has to be copyright infringement, right? That is literally the corn symbol, like with the backwards R and everything.
somebody needs to report these idiots. They're playing it way too close, y'all.
This is way too close to the... We need to pull a Lawson Bates and just fucking copyright strike their shit. Mostly on the grounds of Brigham Young is an absolute dog shit person in American history.
Well, and it's not even like targeted. Like you're legitimately like screwing with trademark and copyright, and like that's just asking for something bad to happen. Like they don't just trademark and copyright shit for fun. Like it's expensive and they will come after your ass if they know about it.
For real. Especially when you're co-opting the likeness of some group or organization. They're not going to like it when it's the fucking...
No.
Yeah.
No. If you're buying your child a baby onesie with Brigham Young's face on it,
You need help. Get help. Get help.
Or if you're buying these things, please do not reproduce. Yeah. Just take a few years, leave the church, and reconsider.
Take a gap year, reevaluate your life and make sure this is actually what you want to do.
Same vibes as birds aren't real.
I know, right? This is... People are always like, oh, we don't idolize prophets or anything. Brigham Young was a man of his time. And this kind of shit is like, you know what? Brigham Young was an awesome guy. Despite the fact that he castrated people, despite the fact that he was okay with an entire wagon train of people being just unalive.
Despite the fact that he had enslaved people. Despite the fact that...
all kinds of just terrible shit. And to boot, he was just... He was a silly, goofy little guy putting consecrated oil in his booty hole, which isn't inherently bad. It's just really odd that that was his thing. The consecrated oil bit is the weirdest part. So.
Okay. Well, this has been a trip today.
Fun. Do you want to talk about this real quick, or should we save that for another time? It's not really current, so.
We can save that for next time.
We'll save this for another time.
We hit our big things.
I know, yeah.
We only went off on a few tangents, which is impressive for us.
Yeah. I need a seat cushion, man.
I know. We need to get comfier chairs.
Sorry, the chat was frozen. Turns out the chat doesn't keep refreshing if I'm not clicked on the OBS window. Whoops. Oil in his beehole. He would have loved doTERRA. Honestly, somebody probably found out about that. And they were like, dude, we should make essential oils. Brigham Young would have wanted it.
Brigham Young loved enemas.
Yeah, castrated people, men who were gay, particularly. Mm-hmm. Not by him. He would get somebody else to do the dirty work for him because he's a bitch. No priesthood holder codpiece for some Brighamites. Yes. I don't... Like, it's got to be like, I don't know, maybe there's BYU kids who walk around. Like, I could see an 18-year-old BYU kid wearing something like that around campus. Well, I remember, this might be an evolution of, I remember going to Nauvoo. There was, like, a little historic store right adjacent from the temple. And they had shit like that. Like, but in 2010 order, obviously. Where it was like, I heart Mormon girls, or I think even a Virginity Rocks t-shirt. This was back before Cole LeBrant made it cool and infamous.
Before he made it cool.
So it might be kind of an evolution of that. But to see that they have such a fucking legit website and they accept Apple Pay and all this shit, I don't know if that's like a feat, but most of the grocery stores around us don't accept Apple Pay.
Somebody said it's not that fancy of a site. It's using the free Shopify theme Dawn. So they just literally plugged in all their shit to a thing that was already created for them.
But somebody had to know that existed, so.
That's true. Taylor Ellison, thank you for your nice comment. Let's see. What did I miss? Is there anything else I need to talk about? I feel like there's something I'm missing. Maybe not. What's with the hexagons?
Dude, I fucking love hexagons. It's one of the
mean them. Because Utah is the beehive state.
Yeah, it's the beehive state. The whole thing
Everything's
comes from
bees.
In the book of Ether, in the book of Mormon, one of the things that these ancient people brought across on these prehistoric submarines, I'm not even fucking making this up or editorializing, that's what they were. They brought bees in submarines across the Atlantic, and the bees were called Deseret or something like that. So that's why Utah is the Deseret state, and everything's about bees because they were worker bees. They were really like, I don't even really know, but
it's a big theme here in Utah.
Yeah, fucking
Mormons can take the bees from my cold dead hands.
I know. It's a shame that they've got the bees on lock. Yeah, that's why like the Utah Highway Patrol, they have a beehive as their
little symbol.
Obviously ACAB, but you know.
Anywho, I think we've talked enough. I have
Home
a beehive
of the submarine bees and booty oil.
I didn't know Jenna Marbles came back to YouTube and changed her name to Jordan. Best compliments. Freaking love Jenna Marbles. I read the first half of that and saw Jenna Marbles came back to YouTube, and I got like really fucking excited for a second. I wish she would. Anywho, we hope this was interesting.
Don't let Mormonism ruin the bees for everybody.
Was this fun? What are your thoughts? Should we do this again? Do you like the random secular topics intertwined with some also religious topics? Is it a vibe? What do you think?
Do you love this shit? Are you high right now?
You can be honest and be like, no, I hate this.
This is garbage.
Stick to your regular shit. Do it again. Okay.
Wait, what do we do? Oh.
Do it again.
Do it again. Okay, we'll do that again.
First time I've ever watched a YouTube live for any channel. Wow.
Hell yeah, welcome. Thank you for participating.
Okay.
Fuck it. Bee submarines.
Bee submarines. Okay. It seems like the overwhelming consensus is yes.
We want to be kind of tweaking maybe when we do this.
Weekly for sure.
Weekly, maybe change up the times of the day or whatever. So we're just trying to get a good feel for what works for everybody. As always, we will keep this up so everybody can, the free-flowing F-bombs. I don't know why I even censor them anymore. I just always have been doing it, so.
Somebody asked about Patreon. Yes, go check out Kimchi. Hi, Heather. What was I going to say? Oh, Patreon. Somebody said something about Patreon. Yes, we have more videos, just like the ones we regularly do on there. And so go check that out. We've got a lot of exclusive videos on there. We're going to do another watch party. It's probably going to be next month.
Patreon, yeah.
Because we didn't get to it this month. So it's going to be next month.
I would just like to point out that on Patreon, at least on here, it says that we are at 498.
We have 498 patrons.
And if we made it to 500 before the night was over, I would be fucking stoked. Let's see what it shows.
I would cry.
The Patreon app is dog shit, so.
Let's see what it says.
Let's see what it says on the web.
We're going on like 5 different tangents now.
I know,
Maybe
right?
go to membership.
What does it say?
Why doesn't it say?
Hold on, let's get a not logged in.
Great time for me in Australia. Okay. I feel bad for some of our international peeps that are like, this is like 3 in the morning.
It's kind of tough.
I'm like, I'm sorry.
Okay, there it is, everybody.
We're at 498 patrons.
498.
Are you high right now? Play the Newlywed Game with Jen and James. That would be fun. That would be so fun. I doubt they're still in here, but I'll send that to Jen. See what she thinks.
If James messaged me while we were on, and he said he was so touched that I call him his buddy.
As far as I know, Jen is doing fabulous since getting back their channel. I'm sure that was stressful as fuck. I would have been losing my mind. I would have to be medicated. Robin! $4.99! Thank you. You have more than Paul and Morgan? Oh, that's so encouraging.
I don't keep tabs, but we did pass them a long time ago.
I did not know. Oh my God. Okay. I love that so much. Sorry about the yellow submarine stuck in your head. Yes, go hang out with us on Patreon. We do exclusive stuff on there all the time. We might do some more cooking with McKay videos on there.
I would not be opposed to it.
Which honestly, everybody loves. So go see that.
Yeah. We can take the camera and do some cool shit.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
It would be fun. Taylor, if you do that, you are the sweetest human being. We love you. We love all of you. Seriously, you guys are the reason we do this because you're so fun.
Boom, there's the confirmation.
Abby!
There it is.
Abby, whoever you are, we love you.
Abby and Robin, yeah.
Hell yeah. And Taylor said she might.
It doesn't show.
No pressure, obviously. We got to brag on our patrons because they're cool people.
We fucking love the patrons.
Cooking with McKay, so we've got to do that.
So many F-bombs bottled up while you were still LDS.
Oh, yeah.
I started at a very... It's so funny because we would say everything. We were okay with saying ass, hell, damn, shit in front of each other. But up until we decided that we were leaving the church, I never, except for very few occasions, said fuck in front of Jordan.
Nope.
And not the same with her. And we knew each other would say... The other would always say,
oh, my Lord.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Patrons. The Void, thank you. I remember you from last time. Janet, One Pirate, thank you. Danny, thank you. Seriously, you guys.
You guys are lovely, amazing people. And
you make it happen because, we love to do this and it helps us when we're able to get support that way so that we can actually spend the time and take the time to do this. So you make it happen.
Yeah, I make sure that everybody, that the patrons get early access to the videos before we upload. And it's been really taxing lately because something's fucky going on right now
with our internet.
Our internet is really slow, and suddenly the final projects went from like 7 to 9 gigabytes to all the way up to the last one was 17, the one before that was 19, and the upload times are just
it takes like 2 days.
Awful.
It's terrible. So we've got to fix that.
We gotta change something. But Taylor, I want to make sure that everybody gets. So we've been like moving our schedule up so that patrons can have extra time to see it and stuff.
Thank you, Victoria. And it's ad free, so you don't have to watch the ads.
Yes,
which is nice.
Love it.
So
always a good reason.
Check it out. We'd love to have you, Heather. Thank you.
Yeah, if you'd like to see us talk about something on this is like really easy to just kind of pull up and talk about things. Let us know. Join the Patreon, or not the Patreon, the Discord.
The Discord you
maybe
can get.
We'll just maybe we'll make a channel for just off-topic suggestions.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
And we can just go in there and just kind of vet them throughout the week because it was just stuff that we were just picking up.
Yeah, that we were like, oh, that's interesting. We need to talk about that. So
organically, so. Yes, we are capped by our internet, and even worse, we're capped by our management because they just pay. They negotiated the contract.
Yeah, so we just pay like an outright amount for.
We are looking for
internet.
some options.
Victoria, Kirsten, Becca, thank you. Somebody asked if this was, I think Rebecca asked if this was custom. We ordered it off Etsy, so very cute. Love it.
Seems custom.
Yeah, major plus, no ads. Thank you, Taylor E. Yeah, no ads. Right. Ads are annoying, so we feel that.
I need to stand up. This chair is doing a number on me.
Swass.
So we are... I was talking about sitting. My butt is tired. God.
Okay, so we will be back. Same thing next Tuesday, 7 o'clock Mountain Time, with new topics. Shoot us a message, Discord, whatever. Hey, Mitchell from Colorado. We love Colorado. We can't wait to move back.
I know, right?
Shoot us topics. Like if there's something that you want us to talk about for next stream, do that. Or if you want something for our next video, we haven't figured out what our Monday's video is going to be. So
yeah, maybe it'll end up being its own thing.
Maybe. Boatload of content in the Patreon. Yes, please enjoy. Thank you all so much. We love you so much. We'll actually turn off our mics this time so you don't listen to us comment about how our butts are sweaty when we end. Thank you, Megan and Nicole.
We love y'all. Thank you so much for participating, and we will see you next time.